Hello and welcome to Tipsy OTPs, the series where I get drunk and talk about OTPs whilst being tipsy. This week I'm going to talk about Achilles and Patroclus in general, if you haven't heard of them before, and more specifically the Achilles and Patroclus in Madeline Miller's The Song of Achilles, i.e. the book that made me cry for about 3 hours. And in celebration / mourning of the fact that I cried for 3 hours, today I'm drinking Sprite and vodka because it's clear like my tears. Also, before I start, a very quick merchy plug. My shirts, which you can buy until the 3rd of September. 20% of the profits go to Young Mind. They're really cool. Please support the gays. Yep. Okay, so this fucking book. First of all, let's give a little bit of a context to these two. So if you don't know, the legend of Achilles and Patroclus is an ancient Greek myth talking about the Trojan Wars. You know the guys who built the giant horse to go into the city? Yeah, Achilles is a half god. His mother is the sea goddess. He is destined to be the greatest fighter the Greeks have ever had. He's also a massive gay and in love with Patroclus, a small bean who just wants to help people, who also has a weird obsession with Achilles' hair, which is understandable, to be honest. They are essentially two of the most famous historical examples of the gays that there ever has or will be. When I say that they are the sweetest beans I've ever read in my entire life, I'm not lying to you, okay? This is not a joke. And by the way, when I talk about these two, I'm gonna be giving you 3,000-year-old spoilers, but I will put a spoiler alert for you because I didn't actually know how the myth ends. And so when I was told how the myth ends, when I was about 20 pages through the book, I ended up sitting by a pool in Croatia, sobbing my eyes out because I didn't want them to be sad. So consider that a warning for you. If you don't know the full myth, it ends sad, because what gay has ever allowed to be happy? There's a quote in the book and it's Achilles saying, "Name one hero that was happy." And I just want to change that to name one gay that was happy, because honestly relatable. So yeah, despite the sad ending, the book almost completely revolves around the relationship between Achilles and Patroclus, meaning that 80% of the book from Patroclus' perspective is him just waxing lyrical poetry about how beautiful Achilles is, you know, which is valid. He's allowed to do it, okay? If your boyfriend was the hero of the Greeks, you would do it too. They are just so cute for each other. Some of my favourite moments in the book, near the beginning, when Achilles, obviously who is this massively famous, important fighter, he's about like 14, 15, and Patroclus first meets him and all the other boys are like, "Oh my god, Achilles, you're so amazing. Be my friend, Achilles. I love you, Achilles." And then Patroclus is like, "Fuck you, you're annoying." And Achilles is like, You'll do. You'll be my friend. Dad, he's my best friend now." And Patroclus is like, "Sick. I think I hated you because I like you." Another favourite bit of mine, like I said, is every time Patroclus decides he wants to go off for a paragraph and a half about how much he loves his boyfriend. My favourite quote, which is on every single goddamn Song of Achilles edit that you will ever see on Tumblr, which I also saw for a gift set for Hannibal and Will, which makes me sad. I'll read the quote to you. This is Patroclus talking about Achilles. He says, "I could recognise him by touch alone, by smell. I would know him blind by the way his breath came and his feet struck the earth. I would know him death at the end of the world." My friend Alex said that every single time this book made her cry, she put a post-it note in the pages and she ran out of post-it notes. And if that is not the most relatable thing I've heard reading this book, I don't know what is. Other favourite bits of the book includes when Achilles and Patroclus are like 16, 17, and Thetis, who is Achilles' mother, who is this kind of evil sea serpent goddess, really hates Patroclus because she's like, "You shouldn't be friends with a mortal." And Achilles is like, "Haha, fuck you, mum." But for the first time, they realise that Thetis can't see them when they're in this like cave thing. And Achilles is like, "Yeah, so Patroclus, I was talking to mum today." And Patroclus is like, "Cool." He's like, Apparently, she can't see us when we're in this cave. She can't see us, she can't hear us. She would have no idea if we were doing anything. And this is before they get together, and Patroclus is like so stunned he can't speak. He's like, you know the gif of like Anthony in Queer Eye, the photo of him, like, yeah, that's basically Patroclus in that scene, but then they fuck and it's fine. They get over that gay panic pretty quickly in this book, which is great. Can we just take a little segue and say, obviously Greek society was made a little bit differently to ours, and in those days, relationships between men were not looked down upon as much. There were subtleties to it, but it was kind of like a, okay, yeah, all right, chill. But the fact that in this book so little of the conflict of the narrative is to do with them being two men in a relationship is just so refreshing to read. It's just like, we don't care if people don't like it. We are in a war. There's literally bigger issues we have to deal with right now. And I love that. It's great. Another favourite part of this is when Briseis, who's like the maid who gets captured by the Greek army, Patroclus is like to Achilles, like, you have to take her in so she's not harmed by anyone else, and Achilles is like, okay. So they take her in, and she thinks that, like, you know, they're gonna do something horrible to her, like rape her or abuse her. So she's like panicking and she's tied up and stuff like that. And Achilles is trying to tell her, like, no, it's okay, it's fine, I promise I'm not gonna hurt you, but she can't understand Greek. And so Patroclus just stands up, grabs Achilles, and then kisses her on the lips right in front of her, and she's just like, look, listen, there is absolutely no way we're gonna try and get with you, okay? I promise, it's just not gonna happen. Other amazing moments is little moments as well, which I think are really important for showing a good relationship, and that's the stupid things. For example, there's like a throwaway line from Patroclus, and it's not even like the main point of the paragraph, but he's describing how him and Achilles amidst this war have been sitting in their tent throwing olives at each other just for fun, and how like one of them got stuck in Patroclus's ear. And I think it's just stupid things like that which are like, oh, that feels like a normal, proper relationship, because they're not spending the whole time like declaring their love for each other or going through massive dramatic battles, which to be fair, they spend a lot of time doing, but they're Greek heroes, okay? You have to deal with it. I think the bit which made me cry the most, and again, 3,000-year-old spoilers here for you, is at the very end, and Achilles is like, when I die, mix his and Patroclus's ashes together, and I just, do you ever wonder what goes through straight people's heads when they think this relationship was straight? That's a part of the myth. That's not even in the book exclusively, that's just part of the myth. What straight man is like, dude, bro, just so you know, when we both die, I want our ashes to be forever entangled, and the other dude to go, yep, sure, that sounds like a totally heterosexual thing to do. This is what just astounds me. Like, just let them be gay. Let them be there. Let them be seen, okay? It's like the 2004 film version of Troy, and they're like, Achilles can't be gay. He's a man, and played by Brad Pitt. Patroclus is just his cousin. I'm telling you now, I do not want my ashes mixed with my cousin's. That would be weird, because that would be weird if you have your ashes mixed with anyone who wasn't your significant other. I just love the fact that 21st century people are like, you can't be a masculine man and be gay. You can't have the main character be gay. And the Greeks are like, bitch, you thought, huh? Queer love for the win here, my friend. Jesus Christ, sometimes I cry just because fucking hell. Is it so hard just to have explicit, happy gays? Apparently yes, and apparently without alcohol I start crying easily. You know what? They get to be happy and gay in the afterlife, okay? At least we get this. In conclusion, please make this a film. Please make them gay. Please make Achilles have really long blonde hair to just really justify Patroclus's feelings, okay? Make the gays legitimate. Let Achilles have long hair. You need to read this book. It'll make you cry, but also it has gays in it. So what else are we here for? Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this Tipsy OTP. I did in a weird masochistic way. If you've got any thoughts about these two historic gays, please put it down in the comments below. And if you've got a recommendation for a Tipsy OTPs you'd like me to do, please put that down in the comments below as well. Give this video a like. What else do the YouTubers say? Yeah, subscribe. Bye.